I'll just take a sip from this fucking jar of water, and then we'll go. Just got another message. Fucking hell. Everyone relax. This is TOFOP. I'm Charlie Clausen.
I'm Will Anderson. Hello and thank you for watching.
I'm going to have to change my number.
I mean, you can probably just block.
I
the
do,
number.
but then they
pop up from another number.
Well,
You're on a list. No, from a telemarketer.
Yes.
And you are on a list where, so you're saying that it's not about you. So you have blocked this number, but they've just popped up whack-a-mole style
I assume,
at another number.
Like when I get that password, passwords have been leaked.
Yeah.
Like there's so many fucking websites that I've got to go through, like 100 or so. And I have like now got a password manager. I've tried all my significant websites like banking and stuff.
Yeah.
I've got like encrypted code and blah blah blah.
I've also got a password
for...
manager. He's a guy called Gary, and I just ring him and I go,
"What's my password?"
Netflix.
But there's stuff like there's websites you sign up for one. You know, you go there for the one time, you got to sign in, and that shit is out there. So because especially it happens with the TOFOP email as well. By the way, just want to put a big apology out there. If we have not answered your email, I know we take ages to answer your emails generally or talk about it in the show. But our email's been down for 6 or 7 weeks, and we had no idea. In fact, the last time we got together to record, I was saying, well, this might be the end of the show because we're sitting in the studio.
You were saying, well, we're
in a studio with no artwork.
No artwork at all. We've got no emails. Our inbox is
like, is this
empty.
the end?
Sad Hulk music starts playing. We shake hands and we walk away.
That's it. It was fun.
Like, that's what we felt like it was going to be.
No one was listening anymore. No. The company that platforms us don't even want us here anymore.
Yeah.
Turns out there was just an issue. I refused to pay for having a mail service attached to our website, which is how most people contact us. But that has been remedied. And so we now have some emails that we'll get to next week because that's our traditional mailbag episode. But what were we talking about? But I get so much fucking crazy AI shit to the TOFOP email. I'm assuming that our email has been, like the TOFOP email has been involved in some leak because there's so much junk that comes through. Like I've got all the filters set and stuff, but there's like heaps of like, do you want to boost this? Do you want to boost that? Do you want to make this much money? Do you want to make that much money?
We'd like to make any money.
Yeah, please.
Some money.
Maybe we should start answering
we are
some.
the right. Yeah, what do you got?
Yeah.
What's your offer?
You can earn $500 an hour working from home.
From home. We do work from home. This is perfect.
How do we do it?
Yeah.
So I think that stuff gets leaked. And then, my number. How many phishing calls do you reckon you get in a week? Where a number you don't recognize, suspicious call pattern.
Interesting.
I reckon about 2 a week I get. It makes me think that my data's been involved in a leak.
I feel like 2 a week feels okay to me.
Oh, is that not bad?
Yeah, I think I get more than that. But that said, I'm not answering any call that has a unknown number. So some of them might just be
even if it's a
people
number
who have official reasons to call me that I'm just not answering the phone.
But if it's a number that you don't like recognize, so it doesn't come up with a name, but it's a number, it's not an unknown. Do you answer that?
No.
What if it's a Australian state-based one? So it's an 07, 03, 02. Will you answer that?
Sorry, am I time traveling? Who's calling me from a state-based
happens all the time.
Landline? Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I won't
I'm
answer.
not looking. I must admit, if it doesn't come up with a name, I'm not examining whether it's from like a landline or a mobile phone. Because I also assume that none of those things, I assume you can now be like, they can send you something that looks like it's from a landline or a mobile phone that isn't from like whatever. You can send you can probably there's a banana in your kitchen that you can send like an email to somebody that looks like it's come from a mobile phone.
Sorry, say that again.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like you just this like.
There's a banana in your kitchen that you can send as an email. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Can we go to the action rate? What did he just say?
There is a banana in your kitchen that you can use to send an email.
I said
action
replay, not slow-mo replay.
Oh, okay, sorry. We'll just go back to the tape.
But I know what you mean. There must be there's some kind of...
just because it says it's from somewhere,
data center
I don't trust that it's telling me the truth about where it's coming from.
So you know how like
Often I think in scams they've done a sort of thing where it feels like it's coming from
a landline or something reputable.
where
But
it's
even
probably not.
but even so, like you get those even old school telemarketer calls. Like it's just like, oh, do you want to talk about your energy bills or whatever?
Yeah.
Do you just assume that all of those are scams
Yep.
now? Same. What are we doing to society?
Well, I mean, most things are a scam.
Are they?
So assuming that everything is a scam is actually not a bad place to start, because I would say in the majority of things in the world, most of them are scam or scam adjacent. And so I think it's a good place to start is with, now, would it be great if we lived in a world where you didn't have to constantly be on alert for being scammed? Yes, of course. Has like the increase in technology made it like almost impossible to detect whether something's a scam or not? Yes. And I feel sorry for people who are being fleeced of their hard-earned life savings all the time by malicious actors who are just confusing them into these circumstances. But yeah, I just assume it all is. I'm sure there's a few things that have, in fact, not just sure, I know that there is a few things because I discovered recently that I thought that my gas and electricity were on the same bill. So the bill that I have been paying, I believed was covering both my gas
and when you look at your fucking electricity bill, it is so high right now that you would be mistaken for thinking it must be two utilities merged together.
I mean, and it's just me by myself, you know, so it's not like I'm using a lot of stuff. So like, I guess like I just was like, oh yeah, that felt like the right amount for two things to be used, right? You know, and so for a year plus, I've been using gas, and there is no evidence that I have ever paid a bill for that gas. Like, there is, for some reason, like I'm not maliciously, like I just think like something's been sent to my phone because the same company that I have my electricity with, thought I had my gas with. That's why I thought it was on the same bill. And so somewhere in setting those things up when I moved in, something has happened where they've obviously sent me a thing or whatever that I thought was
Are you getting one as a paper bill and the other one is like an email? Because you can nominate how you get your bills.
I'm only getting one bill.
Oh.
I thought that bill was for both of the services. I have discovered upon actually reading that bill recently that it is only for the electricity. And so I was like, oh, when's my gas bill come? And then I discovered I have never paid a gas bill despite the fact that I am absolutely using gas in my house.
So what's going on there?
Who's paying my bill? Is Adam Hills paying my bill? Have they sent it to Adam Hills? Is that...
You know, it's funny. You made me think of, I was getting very into a deep dive on the sovereign citizens movement, and
thinking about a podcast pivot.
Yeah, why not? Because here's what I'll say about taxation: it's theft.
Yeah, it's theft, man. We didn't agree to that thing in the thing.
Yeah, that's right. No, it was my deep dive led me down this rabbit hole about about traffic infringements and this discussion around.
I love that a lot of the SovCit movement is just about traffic infringements.
Yeah, this had like
out of parking
700 comments on it.
How'd you get into it?
Well, this one guy
was off the news. Was it stuff that was in the news?
Remember, I think it was Facebook. Yeah, or I got led from a forum to Facebook.
Yeah.
But it was these people.
That sounds about right. It was story checks out.
Totally.
And then
starts off innocent enough,
and then to Infowars.
So this one person was talking about what tyranny looks like, and apparently this guy tyranny looked like getting a parking fine.
Yeah,
I was like,
God
bless
the
you.
government.
I live in a country where
can't
tyranny.
Even park my car. Tyranny.
But then another person was saying it's a psyop. That they just want to they want to scare you into paying for. They want you to pay for parking fine and tolls, but you don't have to.
You don't have to.
Because what are they going to do?
What are they going to do?
And then someone said, well, they can apply. Well, they can pass it on to a debt collector, and they can come like clamp your car or you get the money,
repossess you.
And this guy was saying it's never happened in 15 years. I've never paid a single toll, never paid a parking fine, and no one's ever done anything about it. It's a psyop. You don't let yourself be controlled by fear.
That's a psyop.
And I'm like, I'm not sure that's right, because I've had debt collectors, I've had bills that go over or whatever, and like it, you read the. I mean, maybe I haven't let it ever get to a point where I've had to go to court or a sheriff's come knocking on my door. But I have seen sheriffs. I've lived with people who haven't paid bills, and a sheriff has come to the door.
Absolutely,
like,
that is the case.
They can recoup the costs. I don't think it's a psyop.
Some criminals get away with robbing banks as well.
Yeah.
But like,
it doesn't mean it's going to apply to everyone.
Yeah.
But I did sort of wonder, like the attractiveness of being. It is an attractive idea to just be like, I just don't give a fuck.
The laws don't apply.
Yeah,
to
to
you.
live like Bill Murray in Groundhog Day.
Yeah,
where it's like I'm just going to do and behave in a way that only benefits myself because
to only think about myself, to be purely. So often in life you can see the advantages of it, right?
Yeah.
Like we can all see. I mean, look,
not to get
I'm not even going to make the point because everybody understands the point that I would make regardless. But we've seen a world in which just having relentless confidence and
I don't know who you're talking about.
and like not being like ever admitting to making a mistake or anything like that can be an incredibly
not be rewarding. No. If a lifetime of reading books and moral education has taught me one thing, it is cheaters never prosper.
That's right.
Well, it's always best to tell the truth.
And all the biggest companies in the world are run by the best, the most honest, and absolutely most sane people. It's. I think that there is that element of. We wish in a way that we could act like that, but I'm not sure that we necessarily would like to be that person, right? So like we'd like the confidence to be able to act like it, but not because you still have to live with the consequences of being a person. Well, these people don't, obviously.
Well, that's what
they don't. This thing that would stop me from doing it wouldn't be that the bit that where I think, oh yes, it would be fun to just take whatever you want whenever you want to do like whatever you want. Of course there's something appealing about that, but then there would just be the consequences of having to examine and reconsider and like morally
what's it doing to
grapple with your actions and the consequences of your actions.
I think the power fantasy of a game like Grand Theft Auto and the power fantasy of that is you just do and behave however you want. Murder's legal. You can steal. You can do whatever. You drive cars fast. There's no real consequences. You just reset and start again. But that only exists in that finite world of a fantasy, much like any kind of fantasy, when they're the parameters. But that's not how the world exists because the consequences knock on not just from. Like you're doing something selfish because you believe it just impacts you or it's only going to affect you and it's no one else's business how I choose to live my life.
And then in the next scene of Grand Theft Auto, you drive into a thing and you see his family, the guy you just murdered, and they're actually really nice. Yeah. And he was just out on the streets trying to pay for an operation for his kid.
Well, me and my friend used to play, when we used to play Grand Theft Auto, we invented our own
Grand Theft Auto 9 Consequences.
Yes. No, me and my friend, we used to play this game. It was called Backstory. And so we'd get on the roof of a building in Grand Theft Auto with our sniper rifle and would go to one of like the NPCs, like the non-playable characters, and we would get them in our crosshairs. And just before we shot them, we would say, this is Stephen. He's been working in a science lab for 6 years. He's just come up with a cure for cancer. He's just on his way to lodge the papers and bang! Oh, no! Oh, no, he's dead. He's dead. This is Mark. Mark was an alcoholic for 20 years. He's finally turned his life around. He's about to go back to his first love and let it... Oh, no! He's dead. He's dead too. But that is the thing, right? Like, you can live a life that pleasures... that you only serve your own sort of needs or pleasures or whatever. But the ripple effect for that just goes on forever. And the thing about the sovereign citizen thing that I found from reading all these comments and stuff is it's rules for thee, not for me.
Yeah.
So they want everyone else to abide by the rules, but it doesn't apply to them.
Because they're sovereign citizens.
They're not saying they want anarchy, because it would be anarchy, right? If anyone could do whatever they wanted, but they're just saying, no, these
it's
rules...
almost like there's a reason that the rules exist in the first place.
Yeah, these rules that you're applying to me suck and get fucked.
Yeah.
But by the same token, everyone else has to play by. If they can't differentiate themselves from anyone if everyone is a sovereign citizen. You know what I mean? Like they kind of need some squares to rebel against, but they don't seem to have that awareness that if they're sort of saying like everyone's sheep and we're all being controlled by these psyops, blah 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 blah. But if everyone thought like them, then there would be nothing to rebel against.
I love that idea where they're always like, "I don't live your life in fear," and yet the ultimate fear is thinking everything is a psyop. Like that is living your life in fear, thinking that the government is trying to control you all the time. I mean, there is an element of like, I get it. There are heaps of rules in society as well that I think are dumb, and there are laws that I have broken or disobeyed or don't think apply to me, and all those sort of things. But in a general principle in society, I've always been a bit of one of those, like, I don't, like, there would be exceptions to this rule as well, but I've always been a bit of a, in the privacy of your own home, like, if you're hurting nobody but yourself,
Go nuts.
right? Like, do what you need to do. Like, but like once you get out and about and you're affecting other people, you just have to be, I mean, to make it as simple as the baby at the Arj Barker show, like my attitude is always like, you can bring a baby to the show. If the baby starts to annoy other audience members, you probably need to take the baby out for a bit. But if it's not annoying anybody, then it shouldn't be a problem that the baby's there. Like, I feel like that's the same with pretty much any element of.
Are you talking about a consequence culture, Will?
I mean, I just feel like the idea now is that, like you said, everyone wants all the benefits of us living in a society, but they don't want to pay any of the cost of living in a society.
Yeah.
So we still want the protections of feeling safe or looked after or protected from a scam or whatever it might be of living in a society. But the idea that we would then have to pay some sort of debt for those freedoms, like the freedoms come with a price. That there is, that everything is like a balancing act whereby, like, in a way it'd be great to like be able to trade, like goods and services in the way that we used to, right? Like, but it's going to be tough for me to arrange a comedy gig if like 100 different people have to be like, I'm going to give you a loaf of bread and I'm going to give you a donkey ride. Yeah, exactly.
I feel like there is this segment of the population. Well, I don't even know if it's like how big it is, but this individual you were referencing before, who I had no idea who you're talking about.
Anyone, could be anyone.
Could be anyone.
Yeah.
But like friends of mine who are otherwise, fairly intelligent, well-adjusted, pay their taxes, all that kind of stuff. They have said to me, "Oh, but it's just nice that someone's like disrupting, that they're sort of shaking the foundation." You know? And I understand that appeal. I understand the idea of someone being a disruptor.
Yeah.
And
if you can't fix it, break it.
It's all bullshit.
Yeah.
It's all bullshit.
This is all. But the problem is, it's easy to point out when something isn't working. And I get it. If you feel like something isn't working and someone comes along and says, this isn't working, I've got a solution. And the other mob are like, no, it's working. Like, you can find the idea of somebody saying, this is not working appealing. But if their solution is, I'll teach you how to send an email from your banana, then it's not actually a sensible solution.
But the thing is, it's like everyone is strawmanning everyone else. It's always like, the other side is saying this, but I don't feel like the other side is saying everything's perfect. I think everyone kind of agreed that shit is fucked up, and we need to change things. But maybe it's like, let's incrementally change things or have a sober discussion around how to change things and work out where the real problems are, as opposed to let's just detonate stuff and then rebuild from the ground up.
Yeah, but there's no reward to that in the attention economy. It's got to be black or white. And we, particularly online, you live in the world where you're not just being, sent a whole bunch of things that reinforce your positive, the things that you're into. You're also being sent a whole bunch of things that you think that everybody on the other side is completely extreme, because the things that you get fed are the most extreme opposite examples of the thing that you believe in, because that's what you're most likely to engage in.
Yeah.
So then you just get a disproportionate idea of the fact that everybody on that side believes this thing. And so the right end up thinking that the left all believe, like, the same things, and these
outright... transgender everybody.
Yeah, whatever the like ultimate example of what they believe the worst is. They think everyone believes that. And it happens...
the left and the right. Yeah.
Exactly the same. Because we are being fed those examples in a way that makes us think 9 out of 10 people believe that, rather than maybe it's like 1 out of 100 or whatever it might be.
So in your decompression from social media,
Yes.
did you find there was a noticeable decrease in your agitation?
I mean, I don't want to be this person.
Like a guy who doesn't smoke anymore and now like
Yeah.
it's a disgusting
But
habit.
it's like if I used to smoke and now I can run a marathon.
Mm.
Like that's the difference. In regard to my attention, to my curiosity, to my level of openness to other people's point of view, to the fact that you can just enjoy something for its own merits without ever always having to feel like you have to pass it through the prism of what other people thought of it or what
Mm.
your presentation to other people about what you think of something might be.
Or
Like,
capturing the moment.
yeah, all those, like, I mean, just every day in a million ways. Like, they would have to invent a new type of social media to ever tempt me back to it. Like, that's how, like, it's like, it feels. I feel regret for having wasted so much of my time
Mm.
in the infrastructure because I think about this a lot in regard to my dad. My dad never left Anderson's Road. He's lived his entire life in a community of 250 people where I'm from, and then like 1,200 in Hayfield, and then a bit more in the local area. But like his entire life, and his life has been so full. Like, there's never a moment that I've sat around and thought, oh, he's not,
He's just sitting around staring at a wall.
yeah, right?
Yeah.
Like full. And there's a part of me that thinks that maybe we got conned into the idea of thinking that,
Mm.
like, that all this more, the more gives us less, I
Yeah.
think. I think we are better to pick some things that, it's like, so I have a very good friend who has one of those good life rules, which is that it's better that a business does one thing really well than like, that they do 40 things like, on the menu and they don't. And I feel like I am more and more going to that in all sorts of things, which is that idea of just going one thing well. Like just do one thing
Mm.
well. Like or have one idea. Like read your book and just sit down with your book rather than this endless scroll of what else is there or what's next.
Mm.
Like even like some days I'll be like, oh, well, my computer time today, if I'm gonna write,
Mm.
I'm not gonna do other computer time.
Yeah.
Like if I'm going to write on the computer, I won't look at other things on the computer. And then just the richness of going, oh, I can just concentrate on this idea and explore it rather than, because even just looking at news sites
Yeah.
in the way that you look at them, where you flick through and you suddenly get this, what you realize is how much consuming all this information sets your agenda of your reading all that in the morning sometimes feels like a previously on the world is shit.
Yeah.
As opposed to like when you get up in the morning and you have like a nice cup of coffee and you like, you realize you live in a pretty good place and
Mm.
you like just can have a think and yeah, I mean
That element of mindfulness
mm,
or noticing, whatever you call it, I think is so useful, especially like as a dad. There are moments because your child changes so quickly, and they're only like they're a baby for 6 months, they're an infant for 1 year, they're a toddler for like 2 years, they're a child, and that you never get that back, and so there is this sort of I'm constantly sort of um, reminding myself to be present in the moment and really soak in whatever
mm,
experience, even
yeah.
bad ones, because it's like this will never happen again.
I think the
And
bad ones, that's part of it, right? Is
yeah,
accepting when something bad is happening to go, this is part of being alive and being a person and being human. And I don't want to block it out. I
yeah,
don't want to I actually
ignore
want
it or
to
insulate
go, oh,
yourself.
this is what it feels like to be scared for a friend, or this is what it feels like to be going through something terrible or whatever it might be.
And it's also like because the way we structure our lives is we save like recreational time for like the end of the day, or when you sit down and watch a film, or when you go on holiday or whatever. And I don't work 9 to 5, so I don't structure my day like that. But I've just been finding little moments to just actually sit and, like you say, this is a great cup of coffee. The sun shines out. The sunshine, how nice does that feel on my skin? And when I was in Melbourne, because I would walk through the parks near the museum, and I'd see people reading books in the park all
Yeah.
the time. And I was like, I've never read a book in the park. And so I went to readings. I picked a book off the shelf. I like the cover. I was like, I'm just going to surprise myself.
Well, actually, technically, you shouldn't judge a book by its cover.
But I went and sat on a bench in the park. I had like a day off, and for like 4 hours just read in the sun. And like you said, there was no other agenda to the day. There was nothing. I was just like, I just want to be present in the moment. And it was just like, it was such a reminder that I should be doing this more often with more things, because you put down, you got stuff to get through during the day, whether it's work or going to the gym or catching up with friends or family or whatever. And they become things you tick off to get through the day, to reset and do it all over again. But what is the point of that if you're not actually taking note of the moment and the feelings that are coming up and the experiences you're having? Because otherwise, like, why are we even here? Like, why not? You might as well just like be on a treadmill, not as in a literal treadmill, but like a hamster wheel, or just be an experience where you're not taking anything in. Because I know we're all talking about dying on this show, but I'm acutely aware of it. But it's just,
if you've just tuned in, we're talking about dying.
But if you're going to have your life flash before your eyes, or you're going to like have that moment where you go back and I always think about what my mum said to me when she knew she was dying, which is like the only two things.
Avenge me, Charlie. Avenge me.
Don't take vaccines. She never said that.
She said, make America healthy again.
She said, it's a psyop. It's all a psyop. No, she was like, the only two things you're gonna matter when you get to this point, when she knew she was gonna die, are the things that you created and the relationships you made. Like, and creation doesn't necessarily mean an artistic pursuit, whether that's a family or you tended to a garden or whatever it is. The thing that brought you
create
joy.
Something.
Yes.
And
the older I get, the more I feel like that she's right, because when I don't see my friends as often as I used to anymore. But when we do catch up, it's normally like someone's birthday or whatever, and I like to go and just spend time with everyone and have at least one good conversation or something that's going to sustain me for, might be 12 months, 18 months, 2 years before I see those people again. And I always have to go, all right, well, I could apply the same level of importance to everything in my life. I mean, not everything. Of course, there's going to be, you have to fucking empty the dishwasher and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, also, even that, sometimes I think, I mean, look, it is very hard to constantly, because we have a limited amount of time and we have so many things that are competing for our attention. But we have added this other supercharged thing into the mix. Like, there's always been things competing for our attention. And then we added this whole other thing and we're like, oh, we'll be able to do all the things that we were already doing plus this extra thing.
But it also, it's the artificial sense that you are experiencing something.
Yes. When you don't get the full satisfaction afterwards, it's the potato chip artificial flavoring, like you want to keep eating more rather than ever feeling completely nourished by the experience that you've had. Whereas you're better to rather than just concentrate on having that one experience and actually just being in the moment, having whatever that experience is.
Yeah, the full roundedness of it, because we talked a couple of weeks ago when Osh was in about the AI slop.
Yeah.
And the slop of social media these days. Like, I also feel like I'm aging out of it, in the sense that there's a new generation who've grown up with social media and they have their own language and memes and all this kind of stuff. And so the stuff that's getting pumped into my feed is stuff that I don't understand.
Yeah.
Like, there is a trend of, like, in social media, and maybe Amy, you know what I'm talking about, where it's like some kind of influencer or whatever, and it'll just be them sitting at a table, like, nodding, and the caption will be like, sometimes you just want to think this, and they point, and then like nothing happens. I'm like, what is the big reveal? And it's just like, or an influencer is like, 3 things to think about today: brush your hair, go for a walk, look out a window. And I'm like, why are you fucking wasting my time with this? What is this? And why is it getting pumped into my feed?
But they're not wasting your time. you're wasting your time.
Yes.
You keep going to a party where everyone's having bad conversations.
No, I'm going onto Instagram to see what my friends are up to, but I'm getting all these people I don't
But that's
know
what I mean.
sitting there thoughtfully, pointing to a caption above their head that goes nowhere. It doesn't fucking say anything.
And what I'm saying is that we've never had capacity to enjoy more great literature, like movies, long form, like plays, art, etc., than we have ever had. There's more than anyone could possibly consume, and yet we're wasting our entire lives consuming stuff that is purely being made for the sake of making it rather than it being good. But secondly, and that's not even to diminish that, because if that's your thing, that's your thing, and people watch things for a whole range of reasons. Like I don't even have a problem with that. I've been watching a terrible American procedural show based on the fact that they used to joke about it on the Weekly Planet called The Rookie.
Oh yeah,
and they had this running joke, and I was like, I'm going to watch this show, and it is like the most cliched, predictable, boring, and like there's something comforting about that. So I understand that like you can go to entertainment for all sorts of reasons, and I'm not here to judge what, like, you know, but if it's not for you anymore, what I would love to encourage people to do is just leave it for the people that it's for. If you get to the point where you're like, I don't understand any of this anymore, then step out back into how human beings lived for 99.9% of the time that we've been on this
the
planet.
ancestral tenets. Liver King, is that what we're talking about? Let's do it.
Oh, no, I mean, we have to go back to 1990.
Oh, okay.
Like, we don't need to...
Not to 1590.
We don't need to, like, live like a caveman.
Okay,
I'm like, let's just live like Guru Josh. Do you know what I mean? Like...
Guru Josh.
I was trying to think of like a
early 90s. Well, EMF said it best when they said unbelievable.
Unbelievable. So,
I mean, I would love to go back to the 90s. I mean,
because,
that.
But we don't need to go back to the 90s.
Okay.
You can just choose to...
Well, I mean, you can.
In the same way as you can eat more whole foods instead of processed foods, you can eat more... And I think
But you can live like it's the 90s is what I meant. It's like you can go back to like...
That's right.
That's how we consumed entertainment, which is like, you know, go and see things.
Well, I do think we got to live through, in a way, what was... where our peak as human beings met our capacity to like, so the idea that you could go to a place and like hire a video or like a DVD and watch a movie and have a stack of them was like, we were having the stuff at the level we were able to accurately consume the stuff and fit it into the rest of our lives. Whereas then suddenly we got that, you know, we were the rats with the endless feeder, and we just like, all we want to do is keep hitting the button to be fed rather than ever be full.
I don't know which streamer it's on. I think it might be Amazon, but Baywatch, like the 20 or however many a series of Baywatch, and I put it on, and I was like, oh, let's have a little dose of nostalgia, and I was like, oh my God, like there was a point where this was the biggest show
in the world.
I believe,
yeah.
And it's like, I understand like the principle of putting attractive people in bathing suits and have them walk around in slow motion, but it's so bad, like, even by 90s standards. Like, and I remember us
but
all
also
thinking
if they made that today, like they'd all be billionaires because they'd all have their own OnlyFans.
Yeah, that's right.
And they'd all be like,
but we all knew it was kitsch at the time. But it's not just like kitsch. It's like it's awful, and it's almost like it's a feeder. It's a feeder program to get yourself a Playboy cover.
Yes,
like
correct.
Whatever actress is on this show will then get on the cover of
which
Playboy.
was the OnlyFans of its day.
But having said all that, there was something nice about the fact that there's a traditional story there. Like they do a cold opening. It's the issue of the week, and there were characters, regardless of what season you're watching, that you got to know. And so I was like, oh, I've got like affection for all this, because it was a simpler time, Will, where you can go on your phone and see like so much graphic sexual content without even having to look too far. But back in the 90s, like that was the height of titillation, was Pamela Anderson in a red one piece was like, oh my God, that is scandalous television.
Yeah, I am interested in the idea that, because the Rookie feels like a throwback to that era.
Right.
And it feels really old fashioned for a show that is set in modern times, like made in modern times and set in modern times. It really does feel like the 80s, 90s procedural shows where, like, if a character, for example, has to do a deal with a crime boss to get his family released from a hostage situation, that the consequences of that will play out for a couple of episodes, but then they'll sort it out through some sort of thing and everything will be fine. Yeah. It's not like a Breaking Bad style descent into, like, okay, this is a bad character now, and like 2 seasons from now they'll shoot like a kid or something, like there's none of that. It's a bit of like etch-a-sketch, everything will be kind of, this is vaguely moving forward, but it'll be
But those shows still exist, like clearly, like network TV is still a thing. I mean, maybe not in Australia.
But is it in the same way? I mean, I don't know. Like that's... because there was a time when like your CSIs or whatever.
Yeah, and Grey's Anatomy franchised and split off into a bunch of, like, there's like Chicago Fire and there's all these different procedural, like set a show in a hospital or a police station or a fire station and you can, make 10 seasons.
Yeah, and this is one of those classic ones too where like the Rookie's fiance is a firefighter and
Hang on, is he Nathan Fillion is the Rookie?
He's the Rookie.
Can you still be the Rookie after season 1? Like after season 2, don't you become like no longer the Rookie? Yeah. You're not a Rookie anymore.
It's true. So he was the oldest Rookie. Right. That's the whole point. He used to be in construction.
Right.
And then he was involved in a bank robbery.
So he used to be in... I'm going to guess.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, good. Yeah,
okay, so he used to be in construction. So I'm assuming he's maybe got some... Was his father a cop or his brother a cop? There's some link to being a policeman, which he always turned his back on.
No, I don't think so, actually.
Okay, so
no.
all right. Is he a straight shooter? Not like with a gun, but as a personality. And so he brings that level of kind of blue-collar wisdom to being a cop?
No.
Oh, I'm not getting this all wrong. So what's the construction background?
He did well. He's very handy. So anytime they need someone to fix something or do something or whatever,
what? That seems like a distracting.
Or there's something in a house where there's like they don't use his powers of construction,
right?
As much as I assumed they would in the early days.
Yeah, well, that's why I thought it was going to be play a bigger part.
I thought they'd be like, because there's a couple of storylines where there's like he notices there's a crawl space or whatever that someone wouldn't know if they, like, so there is occasionally, but I definitely thought early on they were going to lead into that. And there was also, like, in the first few episodes, because he's like, so he's in this bank robbery. Like, he's in the bank one day when there's a bank robbery. He decides after that he wants to do something to contribute to society. And so he becomes like a cop, but he's the oldest Rookie in the LAPD, right?
What's the motivation to want to contribute to society? Why does he?
Because he was in this bank robbery. And
he was a victim.
He was a victim. He was one of the other people in the bank when the bank robbery happened. So, like, he, like, saw how, whatever. And then in the first episode, it's all like, the captain hates him because he'll be a bad example to blah, blah, blah. And the blah, blah.
He's too old. Yeah. You're too old to be a rookie.
And then all that kind of gets sorted out by about episode 3. Yeah, right. And they just get on with all being mates. It's like one of those shows.
Yeah, right.
How many seasons there's a completely incompetent cop, like a recurring character who, like, Smithy or whatever his name is, who's like but like in any other workforce, you'd be like, I know this is a funny running bit on this show, but criminals are getting away because of this guy. He's really bad at being a cop.
Did I tell you about, I went to saw the new Naked Gun. Did I tell you about this experience? No, I don't think I did. So it was my last chance to go see a film before I had to go back to being domestic duties as a dad and everything. So when I was still in Melbourne, as my last weekend, I was like, I'm going to go see a film in Gold Class.
Yes.
And so Naked Gun was showing. It's like, I've heard good things, so I'll go see it. I looked up the session I wanted to go to. There's only one seat left on the side. I was like, I'll just grab that. So I grabbed the seat and forgot that when you go to Gold Class, like, the chairs are pretty much paired up. So you're sharing a table, sharing a table. So when I arrived, there was a woman, because I booked right at the last minute, who clearly, I think, had waited to the last minute.
Yeah, to book by herself.
So she could have a self-care.
Yeah, okay.
She just... which became evident because when I sat down,
when her food started coming out, because she'd ordered she'd just be like, I'm going to go and watch The Naked Gun and order a shitload of food in privacy, and I'm going to get a seat with no one next to me, so I can just have I've been there, I get it, I have been there.
I get it too. We are all that woman.
We are all we sit in the darkness in solidarity with this woman.
I mean, and because I got there just literally as it was about to start, and she already had her enormous cocktail, what ridiculous, fluffy duck cocktail delivered, and I hadn't had time to put in my order before the movie had started or anything like that. So I'm being the annoying guy because the waiter's coming around. What do you want? I'm like, could I just get But then I felt self-conscious. So I just ordered a beer and some popcorn. I didn't want to go all out because I didn't want to ruin the movie. But this woman, every 5 minutes,
something else that
was in there. She must have ordered the entire
the
menu.
10-minute mark this,
but it was there was no rhyme or reason. It wasn't like she went, I'll savouries and then dessert.
Meal.
No, it was I'll start with a sundae and then I'll go to popcorn and then I'll get some sliders and then I'll get the fudge and then I'll get this. And so,
I mean, that is.
But because we've got the shared table,
yes.
I had my little popcorn right in the end, and I felt like I was cramping her style. I kept sort of reaching to get my popcorn, and then occasionally our hands would touch.
I mean, you didn't just pop your popcorn in your lap?
No, well, I need to put it somewhere. I had my drink on that. Oh, yeah, I guess I got to put it in my lap. But I felt like I didn't want to keep it in my pants. I didn't want to keep it in my lap the whole time.
I think it was a great idea to keep it in your pants.
So then but then the movie starts and it's fun. It's really fun. They pretty much have captured that entire
spirit.
It feels like a direct sequel. Pamela Anderson is amazing. She's so funny. It goes for it. But this woman, and I don't know if it was a Tourette's thing or something, but she would talk back to the movie.
The same woman?
Yes.
Oh.
So when something would happen on screen, she would talk back at the screen where a character would say something and then she would say something back to the character on screen. And then at first I thought she was talking to me because it was quite conversational in terms of what she was doing. But then I was like, oh no, this is kind of how she's interacting with the movie. And then right at the very end because they have these joke credits.
Yes.
She starts reading the credits out loud. And then, she would read it like she didn't understand it and then get the joke at the end.
Yeah, that's good. That's actually pretty good now. I'm pretty into this, actually.
It was a whole ordeal. Yeah. It was a whole ordeal. But why are we talking about that? I can't remember.
Propaganda.
Propaganda. The Rookie, Naked Gun.
You know what I like in The Rookie that I will say is one of the things that I always enjoy about these sort of shows when they don't want to use the name of a real company, but they need to use the idea of that sort of.
So it's not Amazon.
Correct. That's exactly right.
It's the Nile or something.
So
like that.
So there's a social media app that they use as a
friend book.
Yeah. Okay. This is good areas. Okay. So what I'm going to say about it is that at least one of the. It's not even a full parody. So like you did,
friend book.
There's one of the bits of the word is it's not book,
Twizzler,
but it is in that sort of thing.
Twatler. Is it Twitter? Twitter
No,
pun?
it's not Twitter.
Oh,
but it has the name
Insta.
No, not that one either.
Okay. Tick tuck.
You've got the right
Tock tick.
I mean, you're not far away.
Tick tick. Tock tock.
Now I feel like we're doing slurs in some language that we don't understand.
That's right. The gods must be crazy.
There's some people going, we're cancelling this
Tip
podcast.
top. Tip top.
That's the bread.
Top tip.
My clue, my Charlie Clausen style clue would be, it sounds a bit more like a noise a horse might make.
Clip clop.
Oh, that's close. Now take what
Winnie.
I told you at the start.
Winnie, clip clop, TikTok, horse.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. You got all the words. You just said all the
horse,
words.
Horse, Winnie, clip, Winnie, clip, clip, clop. I'm having an aneurysm. What's going on?
I feel like I'm on the Auntie Donna podcast.
Do you want to have a crack at this, Amy?
Clip talk?
Yep.
Clip talk.
Clip talk.
Oh, that makes sense.
Yep.
Let's go.
How the fuck did you get that? How did you get that?
He left me all the clues.
I had all the clues, and I was bloody going
Policeman,
tock tock
I gave you all
tick
the
tick.
clues.
Like,
I know. You sounded like a bomb was going to explode. I didn't know what was going
I
on with
can't
you.
believe you just like she just like calmly just like slots a 3-pointer.
We just from the half court.
That was crazy that you just got that. Oh, Clip Talk, it's obvious. Oh my god. Oh, okay, so what's Clip Talk? Is it TikTok or Instagram?
Well, you know what I love about Clip Talk is it's much like the cloaca. It is a multi-purpose hole. Like
Alright, so there's videos and-
whatever they need, it's always like, oh, that's the latest singer from this band. I saw him last night on Clip Talk. Or, oh, that's all the new information from that conference they had at that right-wing thing. I saw the information
it's
about it
on
on
Clip
Clip Talk. There's no real vibe on like what Clip Talk might be.
Have they used it in
I think
multiple
you can
episodes?
date.
Or
Oh,
is it
it's like it is the running social media and only one. And I think there's definitely a dating element of it.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh yeah, they met on they messaged each other on Clip Talk. I'm like, what is this like a multi-purpose? Have you guys invented the multi-purpose app?
It's a bit like that Terminator Genesis.
Yeah.
Where it's like, ooh, in the future,
Imagine there was a company that had all your information.
and the world was interconnected through all your devices. It's like,
how is your movie about the future outdated? That doesn't make any sense.
It should be about Clip Talk. I read something recently because I don't know. James Cameron's writing a new Terminator apparently.
Yeah.
But when he wrote T2, apparently he'd been, and you might want to search this, type in James Cameron ecstasy, that he had been on an ecstasy bender when he wrote Terminator 2, or had been taking ecstasy for like a long time. And that either he was high when he wrote it or coming off a bender. And I can't quite work out how ecstasy and that's, I mean, it's almost a perfect film, right? But the themes of it, really, it is. I guess it's kind of a positive theme that a machine can learn to love. That that humans may kill each other, but maybe if we can teach a machine to value human life, then humans could do that as well. Did you find anything about?
I did, yes.
Yeah.
So apparently, he was high on ecstasy while writing the script for Terminator 2.
While writing the script,
yeah, writing notes, and then he was listening to a Sting song.
Oh God!
And a line from the Sting song inspired him, and the line was, "I hope the Russians love their children too."
Oh yeah,
The song
I
Russians.
That song.
Yeah.
Right.
I know that song.
That was a popular song at the time.
Do you like when you
Be
think
on
of Terminator
ecstasy
2?
and then just bang on some fucking Sting? Do the Russians love their children? I'm like,
that ruined the ecstasy for me.
Yeah, exactly.
But can you think of like, do those two things line up for you? Ecstasy and Terminator 2?
Okay, so I mean, I
like
don't-
cocaine in Terminator 2, maybe high octane energy, paranoia, like it's got that. But ecstasy is just like, I don't know. I just feel the love drug. It doesn't. I don't feel a lot of that in T2.
I mean, it's a buddy movie, though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Really, at the end of the day, it is kind of like most of
Love triumphs.
love. Yeah,
A son reconnects with his mother. A machine learns to value human life.
yeah. I mean, it is a bit of.
I guess it is more of a family.
Why don't we all just love each other, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we love each other, but then also like there's horrifying nightmarish sequences in which people get eviscerated because of a nuclear holocaust.
Yeah, well, he added those in on the
on
Tuesday afterwards.
When it's redrafting.
Just like, you know what?
Yeah, that's right.
I'm doing another draft.
The,
and I'm
the thumbs up of the Terminator getting thumbs up was Saturday, and then the nuclear holocaust was Tuesday.
Yeah.
I just found that so interesting because, like, Stephen King, I know he was an alcoholic and I think addicted to coke when he wrote a lot of his early stuff, like It and The Shining and that kind of stuff. And you sort of see that a little bit, especially in. Have you ever read It, the novelization of It?
Yeah, I have actually.
And goes all over the shop. It's
Yeah.
very, very out there, like interdimensional beings and giant cosmic turtles and all that kind of stuff. But I just, when I read that about James Cameron, I was like, I can't see how that aligns.
It's interesting, isn't it? Like, I mean, I do think that just.
What was he taking when he wrote Titanic?
Well, I mean, it is like something. Slow release, you would think, because if it's going to go for 3 hours, that's right. He was in a K hole.
Yeah.
Just just feel like I'm really below a lot of water. I don't know exactly what I'm going for.
Excuse me. These fucking mason jars. I've been complaining about these mason jar water cups for a year, and it finally got me.
Well, because they're impossible to drink.
You can't get your lips around the edge.
They're weird. Like I emptied my mason jar into my sippy cup because like I can't trust it. I spill it on myself.
Yeah.
It goes down in too big a gulp. You choke on it.
It's
like,
I don't want to have to lodge a complaint with SEA HR. But can we please get some like drinking apparatus that don't
There's
got to
be other people in this company who, or are we the only ones? Is everybody else just loving
No, I'm always looking for. It seems, especially on this floor that the studios are on, there's only ever like one regular glass. I reckon some people probably hoard them at their desks.
Right.
Yeah. But upstairs where I work, I'm always trying to take the regular glasses.
I mean, if this was like an iced coffee or like a Spider or some bespoke, inner city cafe, I'd be all right. Okay. But come on, man.
But even then, I'd be like,
guys, come on. 2005 call.
Yeah. they want
their mason jars back. All right. It's time for...
Crack that pack. Crack that pack.
No, I'm a big fan of digestives. I know that you. I know that you.
So Charlie Clausen has joined us today. Charlie, what new product do you have to tell us about? What is on at the warehouse?
I know you aren't a huge fan of digestives. You don't like the texture.
I don't like to digest.
A bit too gritty.
I'm anti-digestion.
This is...
I like to swallow my foods whole.
Digestive, which is the shredded wheat biscuit. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the digestive range. You are? Okay.
Yes.
You get the digestives, you get the chocolate digestives, you can get dark chocolate, milk chocolate. They've branched out.
Okay.
And this could go... anywhere.
So this is a coated digestive of some kind. But
it's just from the digestive brand. Oh. It's a McVitie's digestive Raztop.
Oh.
So it is.
Firstly, what I'm going to say is I do not like the name.
Raztop? So it's a raspberry. It's a.
Oh yeah.
It does sound like that. It's like there's a bunch of teenagers hanging around the basketball court. They have a bunch of Raztops.
Yeah, mate. This country's overrun with Raztops. Can't keep them out.
Yeah, it's a slur for Rastafarians. You bloody Raztop.
Yeah.
Okay, so it is. I'm assuming it's a.
Are they Raztops because they're raspberry? Or
well, how would you pronounce it? R-A-S.
I would say raspberry.
Raztops.
I would say raspberry, not raspberry.
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 What would you say, Raztop or R-A-S?
Yeah, Raztop, because it's meant to be raspberry, but then either way, it doesn't sound quite right.
Either way, it's
not great. Now, the first thing I'll say is they smell terrible.
I mean, if I had to bet, my bet is these are going to be terrible. I don't even want to smell
take a smell.
I'm going to have a
Just
smell.
have a smell.
Yeah, I'm going to have a smell. Oh, yucky.
Yeah.
No, it's not going to be
This is going to be bad.
This is not going to be
Now,
good.
look, I'm a big fan of digestives, as I've stated earlier. But this might test my loyalty.
They're small.
Firstly, they're freaking tiny.
Very small.
With, they haven't even
You go first.
deposited the raspberry
Charlie's
going to
have his bit first, and then I'll see how he goes, and then I'll decide whether I'm going to get involved.
That's on. Can you describe the biscuit, Will?
It feels, maybe like an icing. Oh, it's a yogurt. Oh, well, maybe yogurt. I don't mind. I don't mind a bit of raspberry and yogurt. Maybe it'll be okay if it's a bit of raspberry and yogurt. That actually sounds. Oh, smells disgusting though. It just smells so bad.
They have there's no other description. It just says raspberry flavored Raztops. There's no sales pitch. Can't see if it's yogurt. It tastes yogurty, the topping. So there's a pink raspberry top layer, and then underneath that there's a white sweet layer, like a condensed milk. I'm interested to see what Will thinks. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. It's actually okay. And I think the reason it works is because the biscuit is not that sweet. Will?
It's got the same flavor sort of profile to give it a bit of an idea for people of like one of those jam
muesli.
Fancy.
I was going to say a muesli bar with the yogurt drizzle.
Okay, yep, that makes sense as well. It's good, but it's got a bit of that sweet jammy.
Yeah.
It's not as terrible as it smells. Because it smelled like it was going to be the worst, and so that's
Nothing is good when you open with it's just not as terrible as it smells. I don't care what comes out after that. That's a bad opener.
I mean, it's not as bad as some of the things we've eaten.
No, I don't think.
I would give it maybe like a D+ or a C. It's not going to be like a real big high scorer for me, but it isn't as bad as I thought it was.
I actually think, and I'm speaking, from a dad point of view now. Like if I dropped one of these in Iona's lunchbox, she'd be stoked.
Yeah, it'd feel like a treat.
Yeah.
Whereas it's a little bit less than.
And I think they're very disciplined in the fact that they're so small. Like it's barely the size of a 50-cent piece. So it's not too sickly. You don't eat it and go, oh, that's too much raspberry. It's just the right amount of everything. I don't mind it. I'm going to give it a C+.
I'd try one if it wasn't raspberry. I'd love to know if they have other flavors.
I think they did. I think they
because
chocolate.
I feel like that raspberry is just a bit too sweet and raspberry for me. But I wouldn't mind.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it? Because when you think about biscuits and sweetness, like a raspberry or a fruit, you want jam. But this, who knows what this is?
It's got the flavor of a jam without the
texture of a jam.
Yeah,
oh no, it is yogurt. Okay.
Okay.
So the ingredients: wheat flour, raspberry flavored yogurt,
raspberry flavored yogurt,
and then vanilla yogurt. So it is yogurt. So I think I'm going to throw up. I got a bit of acid reflux then, but that might have been from the sandwich.
Oh my god! And you thought it's not as bad as it smells.
No, I'm going to have a second one because I don't think it's that bad.
Okay, all right. Well, Charlie's eating his second one. At this point, it's a good point for me to tell you that we have a Patreon page. The best way to support this podcast is through our Patreon. You can get ad-free episodes of the podcast. You can get bonus content.
Full videos.
Full videos. There was some episodes with Justin Hamilton, some HamoFops that were up there as well. We are going to record. We have booked in a day to do a whole day of recording some extra bonus content for Patreon that'll be coming up as well. So
that'll keep you warm over the Christmas break.
So, yes, it is a great way to support the podcast.
And are you doing live shows, Will?
Comedy.com.au, Wollongong, Sydney, Hobart, basically the places where there are tickets still available.
And we'll be back again next week. Remember, Raz Tops are not as terrible as they smell.
But I would say, I wouldn't need another one.
I'm Charlie Clausen.
I'm Will Anderson.